The revolution is starting. I have not been happier to be able to say those words. I didn't think I'd be happy to say those words. But at the same time, this is something that is needed to happen for years. Okay? Ever since 2020, ever since like the return of COVID, like once things really started to become no masks needed, things have been absolutely pooped. Let me go ahead and take me a little sip of my milk so I can get ready for this good old conversation. So, recently there has been 9 warehouse fires. 9. Okay, and these were all on purpose. So, purposeful arson. The first one that started it was that guy in the toilet paper factory, and when I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, so what was he actually making, and what was his actual job description? What was he doing at that job? Now, I don't want to sit here and blame folks for not getting, oh, if you didn't go to college, it's your fault type thing. No, because I didn't go to college. But when it comes to the whole, all you had to do was pay us enough to live, that is a very, very strong statement. Because if you're in, like, let's say you're in California and you're getting paid 27 an hour, 28 an hour, it ends up being not that much money at the end of the day, because you're sitting here paying $9 for gas. You're sitting here paying $3,000 for a studio apartment. Things of that nature. You're not sitting here saving your money, but you're at a high hourly rate, which the whole hourly rate thing is not all that good as well, because you have to sit here, like, let's say you wanted to make what, 70 grand a year. Like right now I make a decent amount of money, like 20 an hour, right? 20 an hour doesn't really equate to much, but back in the day it made you feel like you were on top of the world. 20 an hour, you were middle class. Now you're at the bottom of the barrel. Like, you need to be making around $60,000 a year or more to actually be comfortable in this country at the moment, to actually get to the American dream, having a house, having kids, having a car, and maybe some toys of sorts, And when it comes to hourly, you're not going to reach that. You're going to be getting paid 35 an hour and still not breaking, 8 grand a year, or not 8 grand a year, but 8 grand a month. People want to be making 8 to 10 grand a month, so $120,000 a year. That is what you need to make to be comfortable. There's no single income households anymore. There is always a dual income household, unless the single income is on some crazy stuff, like you're a surgeon or you're some type of dentist of some sorts. Like, that's when you're making money. But back to the fires, these things are just becoming more common and more common. And for one, for having a paper towel factory or a toilet paper factory with no sprinklers makes no sense. Like, a wildfire starts, boom, you're done completely. But back to the fires, I'm not an advocate for burning businesses. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, go burn your nearest business. No. But when it comes to hurting billionaires' pockets, hurting them where it actually hurts, I'm there for that, because these people aren't helping us. And I was watching a video from Caleb Hammer the other day, and he was saying that, the people that contribute the most to taxes are the 1%ers. We, as regular folk that make $40,000 to $50,000 a year, aren't really contributing to that. But it doesn't matter to me, brother. I don't care if I'm not a top contributor. They need to be a top contributor because they're getting all the money. But I'm sitting here getting $300 taken out of my check when I could be using that $300 to save towards a better future. But I'm giving it to taxes. I'm giving it to a 401k that I'm not even going to see And then on top of that, 401ks don't even be making all that much money unless you really are using it to your benefit. But yeah, the revolution is happening. More businesses are being burnt down. I hope that no local businesses are affected. Only the big ones. Even though I'm not advocating for that. But if anything's gonna burn down, let it be a business that makes billions of dollars a year, because it's not gonna hurt them too much, but it's still going to hurt them. The message is still going to be came across. Also, the person that started this, and people don't give him props as much as he should. And another thing, people don't really realize the stuff that he's gone through. But Luigi Mangione, okay? Good man. Good man through and through. He just cared about his mother. Simple as that. There shouldn't have been an issue of healthcare. Like, healthcare in America is the biggest scam there is. And let me go ahead and tell you this, right? So I have health insurance through my job. I had an instance where I fell out of the car and I broke my two front teeth, and I went to the hospital because I scraped up my legs and my hand. I didn't know where to go. I was like, oh, I got to go to the hospital, I guess. Sure. So I went. It took like 2 hours to get this, but after 2 hours, they put some gauze and some Neosporin on my wounds, and then off you go. I get the bill. It's like $400, $500. How the fuck does that make sense? When I could have gone to CVS and got the same thing and done it myself for fucking 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense. The healthcare system actually is bogus in America. And Luigi had all the right to do what he did. I don't care. Because this healthcare situation needs to be fixed. It shouldn't be, oh, we're going to poison your food, so then after you get a disease from the poisoned food that we're giving you, we're only going to treat the disease. We're not going to actually cure the disease that you have. So you're going to be giving us money, and a lot of it, just to stay in a hospital bed in a CO2 filled room where you do not get fresh air, and you're told to sit and rest and lay down instead of actually use your body so your body can keep the blood flowing. They want you to die. They want you to be on your deathbed so they can get more money. The money is root of all evil. And that is the fact at hand. The money is root of all evil. And it does make sense because money is a sacrifice in a way. You're sacrificing your lifespan, your life force for a dollar amount, for a monetary gain. Regardless if you're an entrepreneur or you're an hourly worker, you're still sacrificing your life for this money that gives you materialistic things. If we didn't have money, it would be a lot more bartering. It would be a lot more useful people with useful skills instead of just people being bots and doing whatever to get by. But that's what they want. They want more bots so they can keep on turning this cog of endless America debt. So they keep on ramping up the debt. Like, if you go on the inflation calculator, I was looking at it the other day. Somebody that was getting paid, let's say you're getting paid $20 an hour in today, right now, right? Back in 2005, I only went back 20 years. And, well, I only went back 21 years. But back in 2005, if you're making $20 an hour, it equates to $26 an hour. Our inflation has gone up $6 in the past 20 years. I can only imagine how it used to be whenever it was the 90s or 70s. Somebody that was making, $2-3 an hour actually was able to go to college with only a $2,000 college tuition, Now people are sitting here in college debt for years until they're 50, 40, having to pay off a debt that just gave them education. And nowadays, You can't even take all that education somewhere for a job because you'll come out of college jobless. You'll come out of college sitting here, oh, I have to work at McDonald's because the thing that I majored in doesn't have a market anymore because AI took it over. You know, that's where we are as a country, and I am so happy that the revolution is happening. That things are going to be happening to these billionaires. And one thing, I do not stand with data centers. Data centers are the worst thing to happen. And Virginia has the most data centers in the country. All of our nature has been taken. Not all of it, but most of it has been taken for these freaking stupid things. And now power is up. Electricity, $250 for a 1 bed, 1 bath. How the flip does that make sense? How? But I digress. I just wanted to bring this to the people's attention that the revolution is happening. Change is coming. It's not that far away. And it's going to be happening in my lifetime. And I'm happy to say it's going to be happening in my lifetime because that makes me more comfortable having a child after the revolution has happened. If we're sitting here like 28 what was the movie 28 years later, if we're sitting like a zombie apocalypse, right, and I'm on an island somewhere and we're pretty much secluded from all life, but the rest of the world is doing fine. They have cars, they have technology and stuff, but my people on the island don't have technology, and we just chill, focus on how we can become useful for the community and how we can pretty much defend ourselves. I'm down for that, dog. I'm over living for materialistic things, over for living like, oh, I just want a car. Oh, I just want a big old house. Oh, I just want to be rich. Bro, the only reason why I want to be rich is mainly because I get land. I just want land. That's all I want is land. So I can do whatever I want on that land. But in America, you can have land and still not be able to do what you want on it. You have to have permits to build certain buildings. You have to have, people come out for electricity. You can't build your own electrical lines, even though you're a whole electrical lineman. You can't do it yourself because you need to have these permits. You can't have even plumbing, brother. You can't even have plumbing be a thing because, oh, I need the government to come out and give me approval for it. America is such a illusion of freedom, it makes no sense. And freedom of speech is slowly being taken away from us. It is just a matter of time before things are really backwards and we're like England beforehand. Before the American Revolution had went ahead and came over here to make America, we're just going to be like England again, where the top percent control absolutely everything coming down. This is Kamal's Corner, and I am out yet again. I hope I gave you guys something to think about. See you on the next one.